The appeals chamber considers that this approach strikes a careful balance between the need to reflect the full culpability of an accused person while safeguarding his or her rights and ensuring that the person is not being unlawfully punished. The appeals chamber also rejects the defense's allegation that war crimes and crimes against humanity based on the same underlying conduct are impermissible concurrences. As the trial chamber correctly stated, in the conviction decision, crimes against humanity and war crimes reflect, partly, different forms of criminality, in that they complement, in terms of protected interests, the incrimination of the individual specific crimes, which in turn are therefore distinct depending on the relevant contextual elements. For instance, in relation to murder, both as a crime against humanity and as a war crime, while some of the legal interests protected may coincide, e.g., the right to life, the protected interests discerned from the contextual elements do reflect different forms of criminality, and consequently, distinct crimes. As explained in the determination of ground of appeal 20, the legal interests protected by a given criminal provision can only be discerned by reference to the elements of the crimes. Furthermore, the appeals chamber rejects the defense's claim that cumulative convictions for the crimes of rape and sexual slavery and for the crimes of forced marriage as a form of other inhuman acts and sexual slavery are not permissible. As explained in the judgment, these crimes have materially distinct elements resulting from the fact that they protect different interests. The appeals chamber considers that while the protected interests may overlap to a certain degree, the fundamental nature of the crime of sexual slavery is reducing a person to a servile status and depriving him or her of his or her liberty and sexual autonomy. While for the crime of rape, it is the invasion of sexual nature of a person's body and the attack on his or her sexual autonomy. In addition, the interest protected by forced marriage as a form of other inhuman acts is not necessarily violence against physical integrity and deprivation of liberty, but crucially, a person's right to freely choose one's spouse and consensually establish a family. Conclusion. In concluding the summary of this judgment, and given that the relevant findings of the trial chamber have been confirmed, the appeals chamber wishes to recognize the extreme suffering experienced by the victims of the crimes committed by Mr. ONGWEN during the time relevant to the charges. I will repeat this in French. En concluant la lecture du résumé de l'arrêt rendu ce jour, et étant donné que les conclusions pertinentes de la Chambre de première instance ont été confirmées, la Chambre d'appel tient à reconnaître les souffrances extrêmes qu'ont endurées les victimes des crimes commis par Dominic ONGWEN durant la période visée par les charges. Appropriate relief. For the reasons set out in detail in the judgment, the appeals chamber rejects all the defense's grounds of appeal and confirms unanimously the conviction decision. This concludes the delivery of its judgment with respect to the appeal against the conviction decision. We shall now adjourn until 14:30 for the delivery of the judgment on the appeal against the sentencing decision.
All right, we will.